We should do like bloopers. Okie doke. Right. So, hello everybody. Welcome to Fumbling in Games. And today we're gonna witness me fumbling in game. We're gonna be playing the Stanley Parable. Yeah, I've never played this before. I don't know what it's gonna be. So let's go and check this out. Have you played the Stanley Parable before? No. Please adjust the slider and yes. The computer is barely visible. Oh, and before I forget to mention, if you do like this video, please thumbs up. If you don't like this video, please also thumbs up. And if you do like the channel, and as being stupid in games, please also make sure that you do subscribe to our channel. Okay, so... yeah, barely visible. Ever so slightly up. Okie doke. So this is totally unscripted. Begin the game. Okay.
The end is never. Never is the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Was he?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, I can crouch. Cool. Oh, I thought I can zoom in to read what the document says. Never mind. I love how it's like green, red, yellow. Recommendations from the overnight committee. 60? I think it says 1961, but who knows? Okay, I can't jump. Fine. Okay, no. My guess is that I need to go someplace for the narrator.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Where the narrator will start speaking. That's what I was about to say.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Not a single trace.
Who farted? What? Oh. But... How did I even... Oh. I feel like every click sounds like a stapling something.
Actually, it's keys on a mechanical keyboard.
Well, clearly I'm not a millennial.
No, you're Gen Z.
No, I am millennial. I was just joking. It's really freaking bright. Okay, nope. Not a mechanical keyboard. No, a typewriter, if anything.
Typewriters sound a lot more...
Huh?
What's the word for it? Fierce.
Anybody? Oh no, please don't tell me this is one of those games where you have to figure things out, because if it is, I will suck.
You got this.
Oh no. Is it like solving puzzles?
No, nobody said that.
But is it?
Nobody said that. You have no reason to believe that.
Yeah, they don't have to say that for me to think.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Fine.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You're
This
upper
was
left.
not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
What did you say?
Your other left.
No, I know I did it on purpose because I saw somebody doing just that. And they were like, they did not listen to the narrator. I'm like, yep.
Are you waiting to catch somebody walking past?
Maybe.
Who knows? This might just be an elaborate surprise party for Stanley's birthday.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Oh, you would call these paintings?
He's laying it on thick.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
Hey,
It's
yo!
possible that this is why everyone left. But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
I walk fast as though I'm sliding. No. No. Oh. I do not want to walk through that door.
But that's the door to get back to business.
I know, but I'm taking a detour.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay. I get it.
This will reflect poorly on your performance review.
I hate that every door closes behind me. It's like a horror game. Oh, of course, and I can't jump here for whatever reason.
No, you can't jump full stop.
No, I could jump. Did you see the game notification?
Yeah, you got achievement.
No, that was the game. Posing
Yeah.
as Steam.
Yeah, that's the achievement system in Steam when you do something in the game.
No, I
That's
know. But that wasn't from Steam, that was from the game.
Yes. Within Steam. In your Steam profile under the game, they will show up.
Oh my god. Oh shit!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I didn't think you're gonna actually jump off. Right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Tomorrow. Complete today's unfinished agenda items. Write next day's agenda. Reflect. The future was yesterday. Tomorrow is now. Push for funding for R&D of new coffee machine. Yeah. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. Ongoing.
That's crazy.
Oh, there's more. Oh my days. Me. R.I.P. Franz. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Lol. Meetings schedule. Weekly targets. IT depth. Weekly review. This is really unorganized. This company is unorganized. And who is turning those slides?
It must be automatic, but that'll also tell you a lot about the company.
Well, hang on. Now I'm reading this. We need more or less reviews. Want to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary review schedule. But I think that's a stupid idea. More watercolors. More watercolor heaters. Charts need to be more hip? Hype? Nip? To
Hip and
appear
happening.
to teenage demographic. Find teenagers to put in the teenage demographic? Some sort of a child trap? Throw something in ideas bin. No more bins. Trash cans. Renaming of the ideas on. Fixing on me. Oh, sugars. What do people want? Things, money, more money, things, but with money to buy more things. Graphs about things plus money. We have our new product. The stock market is somewhere here. Colored in segment. Stripes. Requires more secondary research. What is hot? Target demographic teenager. Profits, 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 profits. Profits, profits. Okay, I feel like it's all nonsense. Solving interpersonal conflict. What are your dreams for the future? Nature, success, plant life, football, metamorphosis, clear skin, spring break, hope, pollution. Tips for not getting fired, talk less. How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Make sure your slide has a click brew graphic in the header and throw some bevel on all the text. This will. Thank you. This is such nonsense.
Well, of course it's nonsense.
I'm begging, stop. 20 things you love most about your boss. Oh yeah, okay. To do, synergize, core value expenditures, shift the global market something.
Paradigm.
Paradigm, monetize free to play. Monetize free to play. Okay, let's keep going. Oh god. I think one of the employees is in there, no?
Why'd you get poop?
I don't know.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Because I thought there was gonna be a dead body in there and I didn't expect to be able to open the door.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Okay, I'm going. Oh, and I can't.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Nope. Nice wallpaper. It's like we're suddenly in someone's house. What is this? Executive. Oh, hello. Oh. That's a bad mirror. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. Extreme bathrooms. Okay, that's weird. Let's go. The beige pages?
Yeah, kind of like the yellow pages.
What are yellow pages?
Oh, you don't know? In the States, the yellow pages, the big book of everyone's phone numbers that are listed, all the everything.
Oh, I know. I just didn't know they were called that.
You can open that door?
Apparently. I'm so sorry. This game makes me yawn. Business strategy. And someone pointing a gun at a panda. Okay, we can't use the elevator. Fine. Can I run? No.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
No, we couldn't possibly have known.
Wait, what? Oh!
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination would. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Amazing.
Suddenly the windows. Okay, just to be extra sure, this is not a horror game, right?
No, it's not spooky in any way.
You sure? Because that does not look inviting. Very not inviting. In fact, I don't even want to go there. Hello, narrator. Where am I supposed to go? I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. I feel like I'm gonna fall if I go in there. Oh, great.
Psych, it's the only way to go.
I don't want to go there. Oh, okay, I didn't fall. Oh. Creepy.
This is all perfectly normal.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
A little not so subtle foreshadowing.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay.
Go on.
Go on where?
Straight ahead, maybe?
Mm. So creepy.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
What are those things? Oh my god, see? If I can't jump, then how did I get on that chair? I'm guessing I could fall, so I'm not gonna try.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
What the hell? What was my number? 476?
427.
Creepy. Very creepy.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Most likely.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Excellent narration.
Yeah. What happens if I go there? Oh, I can't. I mean, I can press it, but nothing happens. Okay. So, I don't know, do I have to press them in order? Oh. So, where is it going? Oh. That sounded different. Nothing.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
I didn't expect that to happen.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
It so reminds me of what's the film with Jim Carrey? The Truman Show.
The Truman Show, yeah.
That doesn't not look real.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
The end. Oh no, it's one of those. I'm gonna go through the same shit again, no? It's one of those, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those.
No, but it's not like I played this like this game or a similar game before, but I think I know what this is. But then again,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
even the commentary will be the
Stanley
same.
decided to go to the meeting room.
Oh,
Perhaps he
God.
had simply missed a memo.
As far as the narrator is concerned, you're going through the story again.
I
What
feel
are
like
you?
I'm supposed to find something out.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Fine. Oh.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh, no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Ew, no thank you.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
A letter.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He
Oh, gosh.
just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job.
No.
He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh, gosh. No.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
No, oh my god.
There you go. That was a quick one.
Yep. So, this is what it's gonna be, isn't it?
Yep. Different endings.
Yeah. So, basically what I'm getting from this as of now is that it's pretty simple, really, I think. It's that every choice you make has a different outcome. Because there is plenty of other options, like you can go this door or you can go there. So every option I choose will have a different outcome, essentially. But I still don't know what the objective of the game is. Like, what am I supposed to do here? I'm guessing it's just a story, a narrative of some sort, like it's storytelling. Am I close?
Well, I have a theory on what the overall objective of the game is, but I'm not going to spoil that just yet.
But am I close? Just tell me that.
Well, you're right. It is a narrative, yes.
Well, this is interesting. I want to see how this continues. So if you do want to see more, please subscribe to the channel and continue watching, and the next episode will be up very shortly. Please stay tuned and discover this game with us.